I look very different. I decided to do a little switcheroo to how I look. Um, it's funny, the reflection that I have for y'all today. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to ya. I saw this yesterday. So right now we're still kind of in the new moon period. Yesterday was like the 0% illumination of the moon. Hey, Amelia. So it was considered a dark moon. And there was a solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So, you know, I'm not like super profound in astrology, so I'm not going to go hard on all the details there. But one thing I will say, and why I think it's really interesting to understand the moon and kind of flow with the moon, thank you, Amelia, is, if you've ever been by the water during a full moon, you see how the water affects the tides. And also just in general, the moon really the water affects the tides. The moon affects the tides. And we are 70% water, so it makes sense that the moon would affect us. And if you think about seasons, the reason seasons happen is because the world is rotating. So we exist in a cosmos, a network of connection. And I think what's so funny about humans is we get so caught up in our mundane, literally, even doing the nails, you're so focused on this little detail, you forget that there's ecosystems within ecosystems, and it, expands outward. And so, I do know eclipses are a really powerful time to do shadow work. It's often what exists in the shadows for you, right? Because it's kind of blocking out the sun. And so I saw this post yesterday from Spirit Daughter. And these are the questions that they asked and I reflected on. Where in your life do you feel limited, obligated, not aligned? How can you stop selling yourself short? What if you were told anything is possible? What if all your fears dissolved in an instant? Who would you be? And it was really great to reflect on these and really go hard on there. Something that I talk about with my friend Hallie is making lists, and lists are so crucial to. It's like a physical form of visualization. If you're coming up with qualities that you like about yourself, you're literally writing it down so you can see it and you can even refer back to it in the past, right? If you're writing out your dreams, it's concrete ways of seeing what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to work with, what you're trying to bring into your world. Because some people I know struggle with closing their eyes and visualizing with their mental eye, and I think lists are really a powerful way. So it was really powerful writing all the ways that I feel limited and obligated and being I think the obligated one was really cool. I wrote, I feel obligated to make money. I feel obligated to do something great. I feel obligated to share my gift. I feel obligated to be an example and a leader. I feel obligated to have it together and always know what to say. And it was interesting to be for instance, I feel obligated to share my gift. I think about the difference of language of saying I have to go to work and I get to go to work. I have to share my gift versus I get to share my gift with the world. I get to talk with everybody. I get to talk to people and people enjoy hearing me speak and we get to connect. I don't need to do that. I don't have to feel obligated. But it was really nice to notice these things and at least call attention and saying where I feel limited. I feel limited in my finances. I feel limited in my wide scale vision. I feel limited in the joy I experience every day. I feel limited in my creative ability, especially when it comes to making graphics. I feel unaligned with magic. Hey, Sultan. The world feels boring, which is how could that possibly be? I feel unaligned in my physical health. I feel unaligned in my community. I want more friend time. But I also feel unaligned in my self-care and alone time. So it was just really powerful to write this all out. And I really strongly recommend that practice for y'all. And then thinking about selling myself short. This work I've been doing about unpacking beliefs has been really rewarding. Every week I notice when I pick one of the beliefs to focus on, it'll kind of show itself over the week. So last week's was my value is determined by what other people think of me. And then this week's was, earlier this week was deep down, I'm a bad person and no one could love me. And it's just so crazy when you admit it how it can just blow up in your face, like two ways, right? It can show you examples of why you believe that to be true, but then also like all the examples as to why that is false, why that's so false. And I've been reflecting on joy because I'm going to be doing an interview with a good friend of mine, Dara, and they're very interested in creating sustainable joy. So I was just thinking about, what does joy mean for me? So this last question, or these last two questions of, what if you were told anything is possible? What if all your fears dissolved in an instant? Who would you be? I was like, wait, if anything was possible, like anything, like absolutely anything, I could do anything. That's a long list. And I realized, like, I don't think I can't remember the last time in my life besides now where I've let myself like actively dream. I think about in college where so much of my focus was on dismantling and like understanding, unpacking racism, breaking down institutional discrimination, understanding, misogyny, like really breaking it down, teasing it out, getting all the details, seeing how it's continued. But I don't recall having a lot of spaces to dream up new things, and that wasn't where my focus was. And actually yesterday, as I was clarifying my vision, I realized I've been really caught in the nitty gritty of like doing the transmutation work of like identifying limiting beliefs and helping folks affirm the opposite, or come up with affirmations, or like just hold themselves with more grace. And that's been a really great process, but it's very narrow. Like I was saying earlier with the example of painting the nails, it's very focused versus the whole ecosystem of a person, which is why do we need to clear emotional blocks and like get rid of limiting beliefs so that we can live our ultimate lives? And so I've been reflecting, like, am I living the life that is ultimate to me? Am I living in my highest truth? Am I living like a fulfilled life where I feel really excited every day? And I think that's what often contributes to imposter syndrome, right? Like, if I'm not living my dream life, how do I advise other people on living theirs? And also having grace with myself, which is like, obviously I'm not at the destination, right? It's all about the journey. And where I am in my journey, I am clear on a lot of things, especially in regards to expression. And so I can help out with that, right? I can't necessarily tell you how to make $1 million because I haven't made $1 million, but I can tell you how to talk to your family. I can tell you how to speak your mind. I can tell you the challenges I faced in that. So yeah, I've been thinking more about what it is that I'm trying to bring to people besides introspection. Because introspection and reflection is powerful, but action is really important. Because if we really want to flip these beliefs, you need to do new things, right? Because if you think that you're a terrible person that has horrible relationships, you're going to have to get into it. You're going to have to show yourself, right, by being in relation to people and having communication and improving upon it to change that story. Otherwise, it's just theoretical in your head. You're just talking and talking and talking. You need the action, the results to be able to do that. So I've been thinking more about my results, which are like, what are my results? What results do I want to create for people in the world? And what I did write about that... My work is identifying the ultimate truth, that beneath your pain, negative thoughts, fears, limiting beliefs, anxieties, exists this sharp, divine spark of greatness that urges and longs to emerge and interact with the world. I think about the quote, "The wound is where the light enters you. Our deepest fear is not inadequate. It is that we are powerful beyond measure." These quotes bring up a lot of feelings in us. Why? I work to unpack that so that we can come to feel, know, and embody this power, this infinite power that we have within. Living in touch with your inner greatness begets joy. Yeah, and I think especially as we close out this year, we end with a really big full moon towards the end of December too. This is just like a really powerful time to let go of mad shit, right? Like, just let go. Like, this whole, like, playing small thing. I've been realizing so many of our limiting beliefs, they limit the scope of what we can experience and see in the world, and they keep us safe. But so much of it, there's such a comfort in it, right? Like, I think about, if you have a belief that nobody ever listens to me, then you don't ever have to talk, because you can always just be like, no one ever listens to me anyway, so I'm gonna just be quiet. I've been feeling a lot more, like, understanding where I got these from, and also very much feeling like they're excuses. Because I've been answering this question, which is like, if you were the person that you needed to be to do X, Y, and Z, what would need to be true about you? And then like, and if you were that person, could you do the thing? I got this actually question from a good friend of mine. And if you could, so if you were this person, all this stuff, then what's stopping you now? And I was like, that is a great question. Like, if I know what it takes for me to do a thing, if I know what's in my way, if it's always just me in my way, then why don't I get out the damn way? And it took a real humbling for myself, just like, I can be real attached to my feelings, right? And I've realized, like, for me, I have this, I'm going to make another story, like, to me, forgiveness is often tied to forgetting, like, and I don't want to forget, right? Because I don't want to not remember this lesson. I don't want it to happen again. And so I noticed that I would hold on to things a lot longer than other people because I thought as long as I held it, it kept it alive, it kept it valid. But that just ends up eating me. And I'm unhappy. And like, I know that I've always been afraid of looking stupid, you know? And like, I think there's this, All About Love is out there, but Bell Hooks speaks on how negativity is so much more palatable and more realistic than positivity. And so when we hear negativity, you're more likely to be like, yeah, that's true. Versus believing a positive thought. And I'm just thinking about how much responsibility comes with like embodying a particular, like if you're like a person who helps, if you're a doctor, right? I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think it's a ridiculous show and it's so funny. But like if you're a doctor, you should, if there's somebody having an emergency on the plane, you got to be like, I'm a doctor. I can help out in this situation. I bring up Curb Your Enthusiasm because there was an episode where a doctor did not do that. But just like the responsibility that comes with saying I'm gonna, you know, I believe in myself. I have very high self-esteem. Like, there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I think about Bell Hooks further in the book, and that also on the same page, is like the more we accept ourselves, the more we are able to take responsibility for our lives. And so, I don't know, I think with limiting beliefs it's really hard to accept ourselves because there's all these valid reasons as to why we don't deserve why we're not worthy, all these extra shits that like just don't serve us, but we keep holding on to it because there is a benefit, and we need to realize that there is a benefit, and we need to let that shit go so that we can be the ultimate people that we want to be, unless that's who you want to be, right? If that's if you're happy being where you're at, then like you're happy where you're at. There's no need to do anything. But if you feel that discomfort, you feel that urge, you know that there's more, then there's more, and you just got to explore that. And I think it's so powerful to let ourselves dream. So if you're taking two things away from here, because I know I'm kind of rambling, I'm going to read these questions again. So if you're taking away anything from this, as we end the year, I've been really in this taking stock kind of mode, right? Taking inventory. Who are you keeping around, right? How have you changed this year? Who are you keeping around? Who have you taken on? Taking inventory, like what things can you let go of, belongings-wise, books, you know. If you have too many sheets, like get rid of them, right? If you haven't worn that hat all year, like it's time to let it go. And also our old beliefs of ourselves, old thought patterns, old, you know, things that we don't need to carry around with us either. Those things also gotta go, and they can go, and we can lay them to rest because energetically, like I do home organizing, like Marie Kondo style. So like taking everything out, reviewing it, you go through each one, you keep it if you want it, you toss the things that you don't want. And you know, I don't know if y'all have ever decluttered, but when you throw out a bunch of stuff and you get a lot of room in your space, like you feel the space in your space, right? There's space. It's just like, whoa, I can do so much more in here. I can move around, like it feels lighter. Same thing with our emotions. It's all energetic, right? So if you're taking away anything from here, like I was saying, it's that this is the time to really be taking inventory. And these questions here were pretty helpful for me. And we want to take inventory so that we can start this next year how we want to. What is important to you? Right? Where in your life do you feel limited, obligated, not aligned? How can you stop selling yourself short? What if you were told anything is possible? What if all your fears dissolved in an instant? Who would you be? And I really urge you to reflect on those questions and share that with me. I know that I'll share, if all my fears disappeared, I would be bold, consistent, persuasive, influential, sexual as fuck, magnetic. I would be eccentric, joyous, filled with gratitude and power. I would be fearless, boy. I would be doing and saying whatever the fuck I wanted to with no fear. And that's also kind of why I did this. Like, I've always wanted to, like, bleach my eyebrows. I've bleached my hair before. But I've been like, my eyebrows are such an important part of my face. It's like, yeah, but it's not all of my face, right? It's not all of who I am. I'm not just my eyebrows. So I'm not just my looks. I'm not just my face. So yeah, I've just been leaning more into the infiniteness of who I am, the vastness of all those things. And it came really from this reflection, again, from Spirit Daughter. So I'm going to tag them in the description so y'all can check their post out as well. But that's what I would like to urge y'all to do to start off your week. Really start thinking about what are the things that we could let go of. How can we stop selling ourselves short? What's holding you back? What are you ready to let go of? Because you have to let the things go to let more things in, right? They're not just going to... Sometimes things just go, but also we got to let it go because we have an attachment to it. That's why we're having the things. So thank you so much for being here with me this rising. Look forward to chatting with y'all tomorrow, checking in about these questions. Yeah. Have a beautiful day. Bye.